Win a home on Afternoon Express, where you, the viewer, can win one of 3 luxury apartments at Bellingham Estate in the Cape Winelands worth over 3 million rand. Designed by our 3 contestants using finishes provided by Caesarstone and Plascon.
Welcome back. Well, we're very excited for our design contestants, but very sad to almost say goodbye to Win a Home as it is drawing to a close. And very soon, right here on Afternoon Express, one of you at home might be handed a set of keys to your new dream home on TV. Today, we're looking back on the journey of our Win a Home contestants with some ladies that played a very integral part in the lives of our design contestants, our 3 mentors. Let's take a look at their journeys.
With the Win a Home apartments complete, we look at the journeys of our mentors and their contestants. First up, Durbanite Minenhle Ntuli was chosen by his mentor, Bellingham from ELLE Decoration magazine.
I define my personal style as evolving. What am I looking for in my design contestant? Someone who's very hardworking. You can be good at anything if you're really committed to working the hardest at it. I think also someone who's just as in love with it as we are. I want to have some fun.
Next, all the way from Bloemfontein, Joanne Venter was chosen by Sumien Brink, editor-in-chief of VISI Magazine.
Because I've been in the industry for such a long time, my style is quite a complicated style. It's a little bit of new, a little bit of old, with a little bit of madness thrown in. I'm so excited. What I'm looking for is an enormous amount of talent, enthusiasm, the willingness to actually do the hard work and just to be fearlessly creative.
And finally, Cape Townian Rudolf Jordan was chosen by his mentor, Michelle Snaddon from Real Estate magazine.
My personal style is based around my story, my life story. I really want to work with someone who's got quite a clear vision and to watch how those are shaped into a very defined competition space.
The first room the teams had to tackle was the guest bedroom. This was their chance to set the standard, show off their style, and define themselves as designers. Mentor and mentee relationships blossomed, and the Win a Home audience got a peek at the homes that one lucky viewer could be calling their own. With Michelle's advice, Rudolf took an early lead with his refined design. With only 2 weeks to design and install a bathroom, the contestants were facing a mammoth task. Team Real Estate once again took top honors for a spa-like bathroom design, with Sumien and Joanne from Team VISI hot on their heels. Joanne's quirky and minimalist designs were an audience favorite, while things for Minenhle didn't quite go as planned, and his room wasn't complete in time. Unable to win this round with an extra day, Minenhle managed to pull off a bold and stunning bathroom. Next, it was the master bedrooms, in which Team VISI decided on a bold minimalist palette and design. Rudolf and Michelle came in second this week with a stylish fashion-inspired master suite. Minenhle and Bielle came in from behind to win the bedroom challenge with a daring color palette and mirrored infinity wardrobe. Kitchens were up next. Team VISI went for a trendy dark kitchen with accents of white. Team Real Estate's long-distance collaboration resulted in a practical and bold design. And once again, Bielle helped Minenhle to victory with a clean kitchen design with textured timber finishes. The lounges were the final task. Bielle and Minenhle put their heads together and created an eclectic and colorful living space. Rudolf and his mentor Michelle tied their whole home together with color and architectural elements. For the first time, first place was claimed by Team VISI, who made a statement with some bold furniture and lighting choices.
Well, ladies, welcome back to the loft, and what a journey we've had so far. Ups, downs, middle grounds, things we didn't expect, surprises all around. I'd really like to find out from you what the experience has been like. Should we start with you, Sumien?
Well, for me, it was all-consuming. I didn't think I would get so involved with this child that I've never seen before. We had the very, very, very best time. Yeah. We became incredibly close, and although our vision was more or less the same, there were some differences, and that sometimes I did have to persuade her a little bit to do things in a certain way.
Oh, did she say so?
It was a fantastic experience for me.
I can't wait to unpack all those differences and the challenges that you face in doing that? Because, I mean, you guys are all experts in your fields. Now you're almost going to be experts in what it's like to adopt a new child in so many different ways. Let's get your input. Bielle, what has the process been like for you?
Up and down, all over the show. I think Manentle and I have definitely got much more closer. We've got better at communicating with each other. I think at the beginning there was a bit of, for example, there's nothing worse for me than someone who's not punctual. At the beginning we had to just figure out how we both work and how that's going to work. And at the end I think we got into that groove. So it's been rewarding. Very rewarding.
When I was on a shoot, your name used to come up because the running joke in the back was like your voice. Manentle!
Yeah, I know.
Every few seconds.
I know.
We are going to unpack that. That relationship for us was one of the most interesting relationships to watch over the series, and I can't wait to unpack that relationship and how you felt working with him. But Michelle, your opinion on the whole journey so far?
It was a heartwarming journey. I mean, I was here for some of it, not for, I did that one live review from London. So it was interesting to me to see how Rudolph grew in that time and how you can direct to a degree on WhatsApp and some of it you can't. But it was, on the whole, it was a wonderful journey of growth.
Absolutely.
For both of us.
Sure. Looking at these design contestants from when they walked into our doors till now, towards the end of this journey, they are completely different people, especially in their design worlds. I must ask, because I've been very fascinated by this with our contestants. They've shut their mouths to all of this stuff. But you guys, have you felt that you're competing with each other, especially because you're all experts in very similar fields, all editors of your own magazines? Have you found yourselves competing with each other?
I don't think for a second.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
In fact, we haven't even seen each other on site quite often.
Very rarely. I haven't even seen the other two apartments. I've seen on social media, I have, but so it's going to be as a surprise for me as for the rest of them when they see ours. So.
I think if anything, we've commiserated with each other.
Yes.
So it's almost, we've actually all, I think, got to know each other far better than we did previously, and so it's been more warm than competitive.
Start a book club with a glass of wine to discuss how challenging it is to have young design children attached to your hips throughout the process. But Michelle and Sumien, you guys have worked together before. I mean, now, Michelle, you're on your own, doing your own thing. And what is that process like, working alongside your mentor, and now she's a mentor to somebody else, and you're mentoring another youngster?
Gosh, Michelle, I was never your mentor. We were just colleagues.
But I found it quite intimidating in the beginning, I must say. You're someone that I have, we started working when I was first in the magazine industry, House and Leisure's first issue, so that's a very long time ago. So I have huge respect for Sumien.
Oh, thanks, Michelle. No, but there was no competition, and I think because the three looks, from what I've seen, are so different, there's not really that sort of head-on-head or that head-on competition.
Yeah, completely. I mean, also, because you guys are almost slightly detached from the project, you're giving your input, you get very involved, but then it's up to the contestants to make sure that they get the job done.
Absolutely.
You want them to grow.
Yes.
Speaking of which, their growing journey from the beginning until where they are now, what has it been like watching your contestants grow? So let's talk about Joanne. How has her process been as a young designer?
I must congratulate her, because I think right from the beginning, she worked out a mood board and she stuck to that vision. Through thick and thin, through all the criticism from the judges, she stuck to that thing, and I think that for such a young child is actually very, very admirable.
I saw she didn't want to move from some of her opinions. I remember when we were interviewing her before, she'd say, like, no, this is what I want to do. It's the vision of the whole house. And that's all going to come together very, very soon. As we have a walk through the whole house, you'll see the synergy there with what she's done. Her thoughts are seen straight through the line, right till the nth degree, which has been a great growth spurt for her, because we always thought that she was going to be the one that would slightly start to waver away. She didn't, and she stuck by her guns and has done it the same way throughout all the rooms. I think she's going to produce some really important quality.
I think the best thing about her approach was she saw a bigger picture in the beginning, and she stuck to that.
Exactly.
And, unfortunately, the sort of slightly less impressive rooms were the ones that were judged first. And she was really criticised, but she stuck it out, and I think she's going to get there.
It's a good sign for future designers, absolutely, to have that kind of strength of no, I know what I'm doing, this is what I want and want to achieve. How was it working with Manentle? I know you've mentioned all those ups and downs, but let's start with this journey at the beginning till the end. You mentioned his timelessness was a slight issue in the relationship.
Yeah, it was small. I mean, it's not a big thing to blow up. It was just one of the kind of illustrations of how we just had to work together.
Yeah.
I think Manentle, as much as he also had an end vision and worked towards that, he also, I'd like to commend him on being quite agile. You know, if something went wrong, he was very very graceful in just being able to be like, okay, so this is how we're going to figure out. He never had a meltdown. I had the meltdowns. Manentle was always very cool, calm and collected. worked, you know, you could see he figured me out, but the big thing is he was problem solving. That's all he did the whole time, and always just gently.
Have you seen him grow through the competition?
Oh yeah, he's I wouldn't say a completely different gentleman, but just the way he deals with other people. If anything, he's become far less trusting. At the beginning, he would, you know, oh no, they got this, and now he understands it. If you're relying on other people, you have to check up and you have to
chase.
Yeah, so I don't say it in a bad way, but he just knows how the real world works, I think, which is great.
Because conceptually, for me, he's always been one of the strongest contestants we've had. He's got these great, huge ideas, putting them down into actual practical sort of circumstances. That is where it was difficult. And I've seen him over the last 2 challenges really step up to the plate to realize, oh wow, my big ideas take a lot of time, a lot of effort. Let's try and put in a little bit more work to get those done. What is it like working with Rudolph? He's quite an independent worker, very cool, calm and collected, knows what he's doing, suave, dust off the shoulder.
You know what, his attention to detail was absolutely amazing. From his budgeting, even if he was slightly over at times, to his timing, which was really, really, really important to me, and also his sense of space and what he wanted in it. And so there was a very definite sense of vision for him. He was fast also to put in his orders, which really, really was important, because unless everything arrives on time, you don't have time to pull it together. And we had 1 or 2 hitches, obviously, but his attention to detail was thorough. And that's just hugely important in a project like this, when your timing's so tight. And if you want to change an idea, you need to be able to have that space. You need to have wiggle room.
I think a good designer needs to have elements of all things. Creative concept, also needs to have the business brain, and I think he's got a nice balance, and he's trying to find the balance between them. Our other ones are very extreme designers, learning the practicalities. So it'll be interesting to see like where he plays in the whole competition, and whether the judges are able to see that sort of business side of the way they deal with design. As editors of leading decor magazines, your jobs are always quite difficult to forecast what's going on with trends in the world of design. What role do you think design played and trends played in this competition with your contestants? Sumien?
Well, I feel Jeanet's approach to the whole project was totally on trend. The type of accessories she chose, which I obviously influenced her a little bit, but I feel she created, rather than decorating a place, she created a modern lifestyle for somebody. And I think that is very much on trend right now.
Bentley definitely took his cue from trends. I was very fortunate enough to have just attended the Milan Furniture Fair. So especially for our kitchen, we really looked at a lot of imagery together, and I think that informed a lot of his decisions. Also, this idea of Africa being so on trend. He was very particular about really showcasing what is an African aesthetic, what is a global African aesthetic. So he definitely infused that into all of the spaces.
And you also loved green. I see you also wearing your green scarf today, so you shared that in common too.
Him and I love green.
It's on trend, it's on trend. Michelle?
From a property perspective, we looked at flexibility in today's lifestyles. That was really important to us, which is why we went for a mix of a freestanding and a fixed kitchen. That's why our kitchen island moves, so that you could see a lock-up and go lifestyle there, you could see an older couple living there, or you could see a much younger polo traveling couple, you know. So that influenced a lot of our decisions, from the open plan dressing room, which feels very global, and where things are moving in bathrooms, and you know, right through to the kitchen and the living area, actually. Quite simple, quite clean, and really comfortable, actually. That whole barefoot luxury, which is such a cliche, but actually you want to feel at home instantly in that apartment. So flexibility is probably the biggest trend for me that we tried to pull together.
Another thing that interests me is your work, because I've seen how Winner Homes impacted my work and the amount of time you're traveling around back and forth, and just it's so time consuming in so many ways. But what has the impact been on your magazines as a whole for being involved in Winner Home and your personal lives?
I think it was an all-consuming time in my life. You know, I didn't think it would take that much time. Obviously, it was fabulous to get the publicity and the marketing and seeing the whole project driven on TV. You know, it was a whole new experience for us, and I think a very valuable one.
Totally.
I think very valuable in the fact that so much of what we do is faking it. I mean, you think of our shoots, everything's like got a 2 seconds, about to fall down, everything's with press stick. And this, you just realize the reality and what goes into making things last.
And that it actually has to last for quite a while.
Yeah, it's not just about the wow factor, but it's also about how's that going to stay up.
And Michelle, your personal life, how's it been like trying to balance the two?
Really busy with deadlines and Val de Vie. As I was saying, my car could self-drive to Val de Vie, I think.
There are cars that are starting to do that nowadays.
But it's been worth it. It's been completely worth it. And writing a short blog every week, has actually really been a great way to show how many people have been involved, how many people we wanted to thank along the way for helping us. And it's been very special.
Well, we'd also really like to thank you for all of your input that you've made in this competition. I mean, just watching the way that you've interacted with these youngsters, for them, this means the world. Being able to have mentors, which we don't have in our country, lots of. It's really good to have you guys part of this project. I know you guys will be all together next week with your contestants, and we'll chat to you with them and to see whether your opinions of them were the same as they had of you guys. A little later on right here on the show. Remember, South Africa, that you can still vote for your favorite design contestants' completed apartment on privateproperty.co.za. With only a short few weeks left, don't leave it too late and miss out on this opportunity of a lifetime.
Vote now and you could win a home. Vote now and you could win a home. One lucky viewer can win one of 3 completed apartments at the Val de Vie estate, valued at over 3 million rand, by voting for your favorite design contestant's apartment on privateproperty.co.za. Win a Home is proudly brought to you by Private Property in association with Nedbank.